Welcome, listener. This is Sebastian Nothwell here today with RK Ashwick.
Hello.
Who is here to talk all about Potion Shop Designer. So, RK, what is Potion Shop Designer?
Potion Shop Designer is a potion shop decorating game that I made. There are no objectives, no limits. Literally, you just decorate a potion shop.
It is so ridiculously cute. Now, if I'm recalling correctly, as someone who got some behind-the-scenes glimpses into the making of this, from my perspective, it looked like you built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
That seemed to be the level of engineering you were doing to create this beautiful, gleaming, cozy pixel art potion shop decorating game.
It did feel like that.
Not only did you code the whole thing, but you also did all the graphics yourself.
Yup, yeah.
Pixel by pixel?
Like, literally, yes.
Because it's pixel art. It's beautiful, but also as someone who has done, like, just the barest touch into the waters of what that would entail, absolutely incredible results.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was really fun.
What inspired you to create this game?
Okay, I am a big cozy gamer. I've talked about it a little bit on my Instagram because I am obsessed with the overlap between cozy gaming and cozy writing. But in terms of like decorating and stuff, I love games that include decorating and customization as a part of their mechanics. So more recent-ish games like that would be like Sims 4, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Fields of Mysteria, even going back a little further like Harvest Moon A New Beginning, where you customize the whole town. Those games with stuff like that, that's like crack to me. But here's the problem. What is also like crack to me is the world of Arrival Most Vile, which is a book I wrote. So you bring those two together, and suddenly my hubris has me thinking I can make a decorating game based on my own book.
Is it hubris if you achieve it?
I still like to think it is. Yeah.
I would call that successful ambition, but sure, hubris. I am curious to learn more about the overlap between cozy gaming and cozy writing, because it seems like kind of seeking total immersion in the cozy experience.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. If a game has a strong story and a strong, like, core gameplay loop and decoration and customization, I just want to live in it. And one example that I'm currently playing is, it's in early access, but Fields of Mysteria is currently nailing all of those things. And I am obsessed. And I don't even have any more like coherent thoughts about it right now other than I'm obsessed. So it is something I really want to explore because with gaming, you have to balance the writing with so many other things, and you have to balance player progression and like the timing of the story. And for certain games, like if it's non-linear, like what do you reveal, what do you not reveal? It's a whole separate thing, but it is something that I do want to explore like in a later podcast episode with a like game writer, ideally.
I am, dare I say, on tenterhooks for that conversation.
I'm glad.
Now, what challenges did you encounter in the process of creating Potion Shop Designer, aside from the whole in a cave with a box of scraps aspect?
Yeah, I was going to say the short answer is all of them. I ran into all the challenges.
Every single one?
Yeah. So for programming background, I had taken one semester of Intro to Comp Sci in college, which was a redacted number of years ago. So let's assume I'm working from nothing when it comes to programming knowledge. So that was already a very steep learning curve. I also, this is long enough ago where my Intro to Comp Sci class was teaching JavaScript. And for this game, I used Godot, which uses GScript, which is its own script. That was the engine that I used. So there was a learning curve in terms of applying those basic principles that I only half remembered to the Godot engine. And then I also had to figure out like not just how to program all the mechanics, but how to get the game hosted on my website, how to make pixel art using Sprite, how to make a video game trailer. Like there was a learning curve for literally every aspect of this game.
But you came away with a frankly frightening number of new skills.
Yeah, kind of, actually. The problem is, like, my hubris is like, okay, now let's make a more complex game. And I'm like, girl, when you do not have time to make a more... So don't worry, there's other games that I would like to work on. They'll just probably take longer. Potion Shop Designer took about half a year to make. no idea how long the next one will take because it's far more complex.
Any hints, or is it secrets?
No, it's not secrets. I would like to make a game where you are Viola running the Midnight Snack, which is the bakery on Rosamond Street, and there's a mechanic where you can try to guess the favorite dessert of the other merchants on Rosamond Street through like trial and error, and like they have a certain flavor they like, they have a certain dessert type that they like, they have a certain like spell infusion that they like, and you have to kind of guess all three before getting to their favorite dessert. And you can customize the background of the bakery to try to attract certain neighbors. Of course, you can buy ingredients and spell infusions at the market. It's not quite store management because it's not focused on like, okay, you have to bake the bread and serve the customers in a certain amount of time. It's a lot more chill than that.
More chill, more relaxed, and more focused on getting to know the characters who already know and love from your books.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What did you find most rewarding in creating a game?
A couple things. So, I mean, you probably saw this in the Discord chat, but whenever I successfully programmed something in the game, I felt like a god. So even if it was like, I got this button to work, or like I successfully programmed like drag and drop, I was like, I am unstoppable. I can do anything I want. And I would put in the chat, and y'all, I'm sure, were like, okay, girl, that's cool.
No. We were all ecstatic because you were basically casting spells as far as we were concerned. Like,
that's what it feels like sometimes, where I'm like, I don't know how that worked, but it's working. And then, kind of the downside of that is that when you think it should work and that it doesn't work, you feel like a fraud because your spell is backfiring, and you're like, oh, they'll never let me into the wizard party now.
I'll never get into the guild.
Yeah. So yeah, the steps in successfully programming the game were very rewarding. And then it was also very rewarding to make my own pixel art, because once I like got the hang of it and like practiced to like simplify the style a little bit, I found it was easier than I thought it was going to be. Sometimes traditional drawing is more of a slog for me and it's more intimidating, but I didn't find pixel art to be intimidating, which was nice.
It's also, not to diminish your accomplishment in any way, but pixel art has gotten so much easier over the past, 50 years, because, you're not marking it out on graph paper and feeding it into the machine ones and zeros style. Now there's, a graphics interface.
Yes.
Where you can click and place the pixels.
Sprite was so easy to use, and it made it very intuitive. And, of course, with gaming and, all of that being more accessible now, there are a ton of, tutorials online that talk about, how to make good pixel art and stuff like that. I'm still very much a beginner at it, but yeah, it was more accessible than I thought it was going to be, and that was great.
And with such beautiful results.
Thank you.
Now, as a multidisciplinary creative, how does the game-making creative process compare to writing or drawing?
It's a good question. I was thinking about this, and I thought I was going to come up with all the ways they're different, but I actually just kept coming up with similarities. For me, I am a planner when it comes to writing books. I plan my books pretty thoroughly. I outline them, I research, blah, blah, blah. And you also have to plan out the game so you know how things are connected, what functionality you need to research and implement, how you need to store and save data. And so that sort of planning, I was like, oh, okay, I'm a planner overall. I get this. This is good. They're also very similar in that in order to grow the skill, you kind of just have to do it. Getting out of tutorial hell, as they say, and just starting to program some functionality, just get your hands dirty, and you'll learn a lot more that way through just doing it. You also run into roadblocks just as easily, just like in writing, if there's a character arc that just isn't working or a plot hole that I can't fix, I could be stuck on it for days. Similarly, there were days that I couldn't progress on the game because there was a bug or my code just wasn't working and I could not figure out how to fix it, and it just halted progress, and it's very demoralizing, just like plot holes in writing books. So great. Community is also very important. I can't tell you how many times I bothered the Godot subreddit, asking questions and getting help with debugging stuff. And I feel like gaming and writing, they're very lonely pursuits, because if you're a solo game dev and a solo writer, it's just you with the vision, right? It's just you working on this thing. And so having other people to talk to and being able to see what other people are doing is very valuable in both communities, which I thought was cool.
Very much so, yes. Anything to turn it from a solo mission to a team exercise sounds corporate, but also pack dynamics sounds Omegaverse. Community building? Community building. I think
Yeah.
community building is the phrase I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really great.
With there being so many similarities, did you find that the skill set you'd built up from writing and drawing helped you acquire the new skills you need to create a game?
Drawing, yes, because I think the fundamentals of drawing helped make the pixel art easier. Though it is a little different, like you can't like sketch out your intent for a drawing the same way in pixel art. So I had to kind of like figure out like how do I iterate with pixel art. That was a little bit different. Writing, I think once I get into a game that involves more like dialogue and stuff, I think it'll be more of a direct translation. Particularly if I end up writing with the same characters, like I already kind of know their voices, so I'm going to be able to pull a lot on that.
Excellent. Now that the game is ready for everyone to enjoy at last, what do you hope players take away from your game?
I just hope that they have fun. It's a short game. It's not intended to be in-depth or anything. I also hope that for readers of Arrival Most Vile, they enjoy the little Easter eggs that I put into the pixel art.
Oh, I do love an Easter egg.
They're very fun. Yeah, there's a couple like book-specific decor items that I put in that if you've read the books, you'll recognize them. And if you don't, I think you'll still enjoy putting them into the game. But if people do play it, I would love it if people shared their screenshots of their shops with me, because people are always so creative in how they use the assets. They always use them in ways that I don't quite expect or like didn't initially intend, and I always find that to be fun.
It's kind of like being a dungeon master in D&D, and you're like, I have set up this situation for the players to be in, and they always do like the 1 to 5 or 6 things you could never have planned for.
Yes, exactly. But not in a way where I'm like a DM and I have to like replan everything. It's just like, oh no, that's cute, that's fun, go have fun in the sandbox.
Sidebar, do you ever have that moment as a dungeon master where you're like, that was not in any way what I intended to set up here, but your idea sounds more interesting, so I'm going to pretend that was the idea all along. And I'm going to just kind of rapidly construct the road before you run onto it.
Right. Confession, I have never been a DM. I think I tried it like for a one shot and it went very terribly.
Oh no.
But my husband is a DM and I know for a fact that has happened to him for sure.
Oh no. Do you have any advice for folks who would like to make games of their own?
Yes. So I promise I am not sponsored by Godot in any way, but I would recommend using Godot as your engine. It's a free open source engine with extensive documentation, a strong forum, and a ton of tutorials online. So it's just very accessible, which was great. So it was for me, it was a little less intimidating than using something like Unity, for example. For beginners like me, I would also recommend having a simple and clear idea of what you want to make. So you make it achievable and avoid scope creep, which is where you go, oh, I can add this to the game and that, and suddenly your game is way too complex and out of scope and just like unbearable. So definitely keep it simple. I think a lot of people recommend like make your own Pong game just to test out the mechanics. For me, I was dumb and I didn't do any of that. I literally just jumped into making what I wanted to make because I was impatient, which is one way to learn. Not the only way.
I mean, it gets results.
It did. And, like some people do recommend doing that because it's like, you're immediately getting your hands dirty. That might not work for everybody though. So there's multiple ways to kind of start small and learn and grow from there.
Fantastic. Well, now that you've made the game and it's ready for release, where can folks go to play it?
Yeah, you can find it on my website. So that's rkashwick.com. You just go to the Games tab and you hit the play button. There's also a video game trailer on there that you can watch to see, if you might like it. And it's narrated by the Arrival Most Vile audiobook narrator. So that's another fun little Easter egg for you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's Brendan.
That is too cute.
I did try recording myself first and I was like, good God, no. This audio file is never seeing the light of day. So I immediately emailed Brendan and I was like, Brendan, help me. And he did a great job.
And the next skill set you'll be acquiring is narration.
Oh God, no. No, that's not possible. I have limits.
And where can people catch up with you and your books?
Yeah, also rkashwick.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at rkashwickbooks.
Thank you so much for telling us all about this game and also for making it and letting us in on your journey with it.
You're very welcome. I hope people play it and have fun.
And if you'd like more Right Here, Right Queer, you can follow us on Instagram at Right Here, Right Queer Podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back with more Right Here, Right Queer next week.